Hi everyone, and welcome back to our Box 2 Battlefield series that we're doing. We've just finished up our game, which will be on our other channel. There will be a spoiler at the end of that for who won, who lost, and the roll-off to see what the loser has to do to their next combat patrol. So yeah, check that one out on our gaming site. We'll put a link in the description. But yeah, for this one, it's just going to be a video of us sort of summarising the combat patrols that we got, and we've come up with a ranking system, which is going to be like some skulls, which is our little Uja server skull icon, and yeah, we've got some things to go through. So we'll be ranking what we thought of the models, the building, the painting, and the gaming. So just our thoughts on these really. So do you want to fire away with your World Eaters first?
Yeah. So the World Eaters combat patrol, as you can see behind me, it's the Demon Prince, the Berserkers, the Jackals, and the Master of Execution. So from the model side of it, I think it's a good range. I do think it's for a starting
value, definitely.
Yeah.
Demon Prince straight away.
Yeah, even that just kit alone, just from the cost of the box, is really good. And the fact that you can do so much with that kit, because you do 100%. Get the Demon Prince's wings, you get all that kind of stuff.
You get the full kit, don't you? So.
Yeah, so it is from that. The only thing that I don't like from the model's perspective of the box is the Master of Executions, but I know that's a personal preference of mine.
And me, like it doesn't fit the core aesthetic.
You don't want that model multiple times, so you're not probably going to want to buy multiple boxes. The icons on it look very Black Legion for me, so like there's a lot of like eyes, which is why I ended up converting mine with the A-bound stuff, which I think actually looks really good.
Looks more imposing to me.
Yeah, and it's given a bit more presence, and definitely. I think that's what's missing from that model, because he kind of looks and kind of blends in with a lot of the Berserkers. Other than he's wearing like a, I mean, it's supposed to be skin, but I painted it as leather. I
was going to say, for me, the standard Master of Executions model, it looks to me like a chaplain from a Space Marine army. It doesn't look corny. Whereas yours,
Yeah, because it literally is. So in the book, the only thing that it says to do is get one of the Berserker heads, chop the bottom of the head off, and then glue it on. Because the head for the Master of Executions is like like the Terminator heads, where it's like flat at the bottom. So it just says to cut that off, and that's literally the conversion. Wow. That's the conversion they'd ask you to do, and I think for a new person that's good, but from the painting point of view, it wasn't so good. I picked to do mine not as just standard World Eaters. It was a warband that goes along with the Black Legion. So I added a bit of black in. Should be some B-roll, and obviously you can see them in the back, which I quite like. I quite like the whole painting process of all of them. I think the detail on the Space Marine models isn't too bad for Chaos.
It's always the trimming.
Yeah. But you do kind of get to a point where you sort of get bored, isn't the word, but you kind of, I think everybody that's painted Chaos before, you kind of get to a stage where you're like, and this is the fifth one of this trim that I do, and you kind of just get stuck in that kind of loop. But the good thing is with it, you get to, with the one that I did, and you can do this with the World Eaters as well, but paint it blue or white, or the old armour is just mix up the armour aesthetic, so you're not just painting red all over and then.
So I was going to say, I like what we've done with yours, like the spots of black here and there, and they look more chaosy to me. Not uniform. The Berserkers at the end of the day. So I think you've definitely lent into that aesthetic.
And the Jackals are again really good models. The only gripe that I have with them is how they kind of go together. They are quite fiddly, but the options you do get outweigh that a little bit for me. So you basically put the hand together, so it's got like a wrist mount, and then the rest of the hand fits on, so you have the two weapon options for each, which are quite nice, to be fair, for even though it does nothing in game, it's just chain blades. You get to have axes or chain swords, so you can make them look different.
Mm-hmm.
You've only got 10 monopose models. Being able to have that option when you're going to run a horde of them, when you're going to run a horde of them, it's kind of good. And I did a bit of conversions with the guy with the banner to give him a bit of a bigger one.
You've definitely gone overboard that banner. It's
from an Age of Sigmar model.
Yeah.
I did. Yeah, to be fair, that's probably the one where I was like, that might be a bit too big. But
I like it.
I quite like the fact that
it's in your face, isn't it?
Yeah, which is kind of what I was going for. And then again, that Demon Prince is just like, it's a really good model, and especially if you've got an Angron, or if you've got a spare Angron, and you don't want most of his armor on, you can use a lot of it, and
so
especially
made it look more World Eaters.
Yeah, if you're good at sculpting, you have a field day. Yeah, whereas I'm not. A lot of my conversions are just trying to cut, clip, and kind of use as much plastic glue as I can to get it to stay where I want it to stay. But yeah, that's kind of the model and the painting side of it.
So what would you rate on just the models alone? What would you rate them out of 5?
Overall, I'd probably give them a 4.
Yeah.
Quite high. The Master of Executions brings it down for me. Yeah. And I think if you're a starting World Eater player, really good. If you're an existing World Eater player, I think it's kind of mid, because you've got all the Berserkers, you've got all the Jackals, because every box that's come out, so the last Combat Patrol box, full of Berserkers, full of Jackals, Christmas box set had Jackals in it and Berserkers. Yeah. And do they have a launch box as well, or was it just?
It did. It was they've just done that one with the 8 bound, haven't it? It was an 8 bound box.
Yeah.
So
that had Berserk again. Everything comes with. So if you're probably already maxed out at this point.
Yeah. I think the problem with World Eaters is you're limited on your range of models anyway. Yeah. So you're always going to have that crossover, aren't you? But yeah.
Yeah, and it has kind of leaned into a bit of a theme. The Master Executions in game stands out. I know this is crossing into the gaming side of it, but it does go in with a model that you can't attach him to anything.
Yeah, seems a bit.
So it's kind of all separate.
Just on his own into really.
So I'd go 4 stars solid. Combat Patrol really from the model's point of view. Building point of view, 3.5.
Yeah.
Berserkers are really easy to build. The Master of Executions, if you're not going to do anything with it, is really easy to build. It's just those Jackals, but that's just because of how fiddly they are and how small they are. Anybody that's kind of built a smaller model, like an Eldar model, or like the Sisters knows, or Necron players, you know how fine they can be, and just the arm poses, because they're so specific, there's not a lot of change that you can do with it, and if you get the wrong piece, it's a bit of a nightmare. And I found putting the heads on, because they're kind of have you built any Jackals or the Goremongers?
No. The Goremongers are built. Yeah, the heads are really, on top of the neck.
Yeah. They're kind of weirdly positioned, so it's angling them and putting them on in the right place. It's quite tricky, and there's not a lot of scope for error.
Yeah. Sort of like once it's on, it's set in that position, and there's no real
so that's kind of what brings it down from there. Okay. Painting side of it, for chaos, I'm going to use that as my basis. Rather than just general. It was probably a 4.5.
Okay. Yeah.
I did enjoy it. I enjoy the fact that you can just kind of go to town with stuff. You've got your Jackals, which you can go the 2 routes of uniform or just whatever colour.
All out,
yeah. So I kind of went a bit all out, and I kind of tried to do them skin a bit more mooded, rather than being like actual flesh tones. It was kind of like, this is just a colour palette that I've got. Basically selected 4 or 5 colours and went, we're going to go through them randomly and sporadically throughout. So it kind of, you don't vary too much, and there's not too much decision to do. You just got all of that, and then the flip side of the jackals is the detail.
There's
a lot of it, but there's a lot that you can kind of ignore.
That's good then. So
because it's like
if you want to,
there's like a belt across a lot of their chests, which you can paint, but then like you could miss out the ring and you don't see it. So it's quite high for painting. And then gaming wise, I mean, I'm gonna, obviously without giving any spoilers away, I'm gonna give it a 5-star from the gaming point of view. For an intro to Berserkers and the World Eaters, you can't. I don't think you can get any better than that.
For me, in game terms, you've got a Demon Prince. It's going to be up there anyway, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's the only strength alone of that Demon Prince.
Yeah. The only thing that kind of, which I understand what you're saying, but the only thing that brings it down, or would bring it down a little bit, doesn't fully, is the fact that his weapons don't have any special
abilities.
keywords.
Yeah, it seems a bit.
So when you get to something that's a bit tougher, so if you've got like a Demon Prince against a Demon Prince, he's not going to be doing anything extra. It's just that he's against your sisters, which are obviously a lot weaker than him already, and he's got 16 attacks. You'd want something like lethal or sustained or devastating. I know that's baked into the World Eaters rules anyway when you're rolling your dice, so you can get them on luck, but you kind of don't want to just hope for that dice roll to be perfect, and you want him to have a little bit of extra spice. He doesn't actually have, or at least because we were using the data cards when we played, I didn't actually check the app at all.
I think the data cards pretty on Combat Patrol, nothing really changed. I think once that Combat Patrol's released, that's your stat lines and everything. So he
didn't have any abilities that give him anything, so it wasn't like if you fell back. If you fell back, he didn't get to like charge after you or do anything, and that's kind of the same with the rest of the box. It is just you've got those stats really. Core stats. There's no abilities for the Berserk, so they normally have like a surge in game, which I think is kind of missing, but overall it doesn't take away from your gaming experience too much, because you do have the ability to, when you're rolling those dice. I haven't seen the codex yet, so I can't say if it's the same as the old 9th edition book, but you just rolled your dice, and if you had any doubles of anything or triples, you could use those. Whereas this one, it's if you got 2s or higher, or if you got 3s or 3 3s or higher, got you that ability. Whereas if it was just the doubles, it opens up a lot more options for you, whereas that kind of felt a little bit more limited. But you kind of like can't complain, because you do get those abilities then as well. So like you still get your advance and charges and
sustained hits stuff.
So I managed to get at one point in the game brief like a sustained hits and devastating wounds, because you can pick 2
extra spice.
So you can add a little bit in there, and you get to kind of make those decisions, but that is very much dependent on the dice roll. But overall rating will be up, because that was like the total for the whole box from the users that we've got there. But what about your sisters then? What did you think from your point of view?
So for me, the Sisters box, the Combat Patrol itself, I think as an existing Sisters collector, I've never gamed with them, so I'm just going to go off like my existing collection. I had the Penitent Host Christmas box, so to get this Combat Patrol, I think a lot of people agree it's a good bolt-on to that collection. As a box on its own, it's good, but when you take consideration, your highest toughness in this box is 3. There's not a lot that's not going to kill them quite quick. So but I think the models you get in there, I think you get a good range. You get the 10 Battle Sisters, you get the Canoness, you get the 10 Flagellants, and the 5 Sacrosancts, and you get quite a broad scope there.
Core units, aren't they? Then there's nothing that you're like, oh, this is the special model.
No,
like the Demon Prince and the World Eaters one. You're kind of like, oh, this is really stand out. But
they're quite just core models, really.
Yeah.
But they're good models, you know, and like I said, they can go in, you know, any existing army quite easily.
Yeah.
So for models, I'd probably give it. I'll go, you know, mid-board. I'll give it a 3. You know, so you know, if you get this combat patrol just on its own, you're going to get some good models. You know, or if you are adding it into your armies, then you know you can add on, because you're always going to need battle sisters. The flagellants are good in close combat, and the sacrosancts. You know, you're going to want more than one squad of those. So
it's very easy to gain multiple of these boxes, and still keep adding and adding. Like I said, fitting them into an existing force.
I think with the sacrosancts, you have to build them all with the maces. They do come with spears as well, halberds. And the superior can have like a spear of light, I think it is, or something. But you can't have them in the combat patrol. You just have to have the maces. So there is conversion there if you didn't run the combat patrol. The battle sister squad, there's plenty of, you know, options in that kit. You have to take the flamer and heavy flamer in this one, but you do get I believe you get a heavy bolter in the sisters box. The canoness and the sister superior, she's got a load of weapon options. She's got chainsaw, power weapon, combi, you know, bolter, you know, you name it really. She can have everything. So there's plenty of options there should you not run the combat patrol itself. Same with the canoness. Her loadout is ridiculous.
So there's a lot of spare parts as well afterwards.
Loads of spare parts.
Quite good. But like even with I would be taking the flamers anyway, I think.
Yeah, I think
so. I think
leans
like
into the sisters. I think melters would be nice, but obviously battle sisters, I don't think they can have melters in the unit anyway. But it would be a bit, you know, stronger maybe. But bringing on to the building aspect, I think if you're coming in as a new player, I wouldn't say avoid the box. If you really like it, go for it, but they are very fiddly models. The flagellants, their flails are so thin, like even just clipping them off the sprue, you've got to watch. You know, so I think modelling aspect for these, you know, I'm going to have to go down the route of probably like a 2. I'll probably go 1.5 because they are very fiddly. The battle sisters aren't too bad. You know, once you've built one, sort of get your head around how they're going. But I hate how the shoulder pad is in 2 pieces.
That's really annoying.
So you've always got a join line down the middle. So unless you clean it up really well or fill it, you know, you're going to have a join line on every single one of your battle sisters, and it goes straight through the middle of the fleur-de-lis. And it's so annoying.
I wonder why they even do that.
If they modelled it sort of around the fleur-de-lis a bit better, it would hide that join line, but it's straight down the middle of it. And it's the same on both shoulder pads. So it's a little bit, but yeah. So I'll probably go 1.5, 2 for building. Definitely not a new friendly kit. And I also found the shields on the sacrosanct, they're held on by the tiniest little fraction. Like I've had them fall off so many times painting them.
So it's very much like fiddly. Plastic glue rather than super glue.
Definitely, kind of thing, but I did enjoy building the canoness. She's a great kit, and the options you get with her are amazing. And then so probably 1.5, 2-star skulls for them, which is quite low. But so a bit on painting, same again. I think because they are so small, I'm used to painting Space Marines. When I got it, you know, in my head, I built this kit in a week, and then
because you were like
flew ahead, really.
We'll go into a bit of a backstory in a minute about what happened, because this has been, obviously, if anybody has been trying to follow along, we do apologise. It has been it's supposed to be a month, but we've had
all sorts going on.
But you had them built like in the first.
Well, I took them on holiday with them. I did a family holiday, and I took them away. And every evening, my wife was chilling in a hot tub, kids were in bed. I thought, right, I like hot tubs, but I can't sit in there for hours. Whereas my wife will happily, you know, turn into a prude sort of thing. So I, you know, I just sat chilling,
I
building.
like the idea of that. She sat there with a bottle of wine or something in a hot tub, and you're like...
She had the wine and the champagne and everything.
And you're like...
I'm like, yeah, sniffing
I'm
the
going to go
plastic
and play
glue.
with my toy models. I don't want to join you in the hot tub.
So I had them pretty much built on holidays. So I was well ahead of you on that.
Yeah.
And then I sat down to paint one. I thought, yeah, these are going to be great. And then I was like, oh my God, these are tiny.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's where I...
It did put you off for a bit, didn't it?
It did. I hit a stump and I could not paint them.
Because then you were like going, Tyranids and then Space Marines and then Tyranids and then Space Marines.
I was doing anything not to paint them. And then I just sort of sat down one evening, got one painted up, and I think that's what I needed to do. Because once I had one done, I was happy with it. And it sort of gave me like that sort of kick to get going. Yeah,
because they've come along really well. I like what you've done with the like the cloaks, all of the little scratch marks.
Yeah, so sort of like rather than just a line highlight, I sort of scratched it in to look and add a bit of texture to the fabric really.
Did you use contrast paints? Did they take that quite well? I'm thinking like from a new player perspective, if you were to have that kit, could you basically do it? Slapping stuff on.
I was going to go that role. So originally I was going to prime them all white and just contrast a lot because they're so small, and I thought the contrasts will lean in really well. They've got a lot of detail on which the contrast will amplify. The only reason I didn't is because I have existing sisters. I can't I don't like contrast painting tanks. And you know me with my OCD, if my tanks look a slightly different shade to my line troops, it would just bug me. So I did contrast a few up in different schemes because that's another thing. I couldn't pick a scheme for ages. So I did contrast one up in the Sacred Rose in the red, Bloody Rose. Sorry, it looked really good, but I don't know. I went with the Martyred Lady scheme in the end, and I just ended up prime in black, base in black, and I've painted it all in. But the cloaks I did prime in Mephiston red, and then I used a contrast over the top, just to make them pop a bit more. And then I just went back in with the Mephiston red to get them highlights back. So I would say yes, you could contrast all of it because their faces are tiny. I did manage to paint the eyes on all of them, bar the Canoness, so I'm pretty happy with that. So for painting, I would say if you like your painting, I would say they're a good army to paint. I'd give them a 4. Once I got my head around painting them, I really enjoyed it. There's lots of little details on there. If you want to go for it, if you don't, you don't have to. They're kind of like ignorable. Because there's like loads of little like studs in the leather, studs and little emblems and all sorts. If you want to, you can't really see them, but if you paint them, obviously they'll stand out. So they've got all their prayer beads and stuff. I did really enjoy painting them once I got there. I'd give them a 4. And then get on to gaming. Like I've said in like the box, like the models bit. Going into this game, I kind of knew I'd be on the back foot straight. As soon as you drawn, your Demon Prince basically, I knew I'd be on the back foot. Because looking at the date sheet cards, their highest toughness is 3. I think the strongest strength weapon I've got in there is a 7. So I'm not going to be throwing pebbles, like a tank basically. So, so gaming wise,
should we go into spoilers on gaming, and so you can kind of
you could do if you want. So I think for me,
so the spoiler warning for
if you want to watch the game,
if you want to watch the game, go and jump over, watch the game, come back, and then we'll run with that.
So I think going into the game, I think because you went first, you had the upper foot straight away. I think if I was going to go first, I'd try and jump on objectives. I think that's the way you're going to win with the sisters is screen with the flagellants, because I think they can hold off a lot more than you think they would. They managed to get your cultist team down to 2 units basically. And I think if I charged you first, I could have quite easily wiped that unit out.
It was that first turn draw really did it for me, because I essentially went in with a plan of keep my Demon Prince safe first turn, push in. Once I knew that I had first turn, it was like, well,
don't need to really keep.
I don't need to anything keeping. It was just, it was literally like, okay, I'm just going to charge it. Because you then were already like, I can't press forward.
No.
I need to keep a bit of distance because I don't want to be too close to make you charge easier on the next turn. and because the weapons are so close range,
I've got flamers. I've got
want it close, but
really,
not too close.
Yeah.
It's like that really awkward distance that I want to close the gap as much as possible. You kind of want to close the gap as much as possible and not too close.
Yeah,
because
I want to get them flamers in, but the 12-inch range. So as soon as you're within 12 inches,
they would have done some serious damage.
Yeah, I mean they did in the Overwatch.
Yeah.
I did manage to pick off 3, which I was happy with.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think as a whole, if you could have something a bit tougher, like a penitent engine in there, I think it would really turn the tables a bit more. You know, I could retaliate a bit more. Obviously, that's me going against World Eaters. It might be a different story against, a less stronger.
Yeah, I think the matchup is key for the.
100%. Yeah. So gaming wise, I'd say they could be a good. I'd give them probably a 3. I think they could be a good, team. Another thing for me as well, I forgot to use the Miracle Dice.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm new to playing them, so it's one of them as well. But yeah, I think for experienced players, I'd say they're, a good mid force. So yeah.
But yeah, so that was basically both boxes. I do think out of both of them, World Eaters he's just overall the better box.
Oh, definitely, yeah. Like I said before, it's that Demon Prince model for me makes it. I'm quite happy. I've drawn the Thousand Suns because they've got Demon Prince in there as well. So I'll be looking forward to doing that whenever we get around to doing that.
Yeah. So a bit of we'll go into our story time now.
Story time.
Yeah, story time. So it's basically been the 6 weeks, which has meant that you've been with the family a lot.
Yes.
So you've been doing a lot of stuff, which obviously your fault. And we've had a couple of days where we were supposed to film this battle report for whatever reason. We've not been able to, either illness on
family
our part,
issues or whatever.
It's
just
my son had an accident a couple of weeks ago, so we've kind of was hunkered down. Literally, like I finished painting everything last night, which is crazy to me because this is definitely something that could be done within a month.
Well, that was our idea, wasn't it? It was Box Battlefield was meant to be, we draw at the start of a month, we build, we paint, we game, all in a month period, whereas it's been sort of more 3 months. Yeah,
and I think part of that is because of the time of year it's been. I think when we're both at work, because I've been off work on mat leave, which has meant my time has been a bit more constrained, weirdly, because we both work nights, we kind of
we're limited on time, really, anyway, aren't we? I want to throw in there as well, I don't want to sound like a whinging Brit, but the weather, I mean, for being outside, it's been fantastic. For painting models, rubbish. Absolutely, no. You can't even concentrate, it's been that hot. So,
it's been perfect priming weather, but that's it. And even some of those days, I wouldn't have primed in. Like I felt like
drying before it hits the model. It's I mean, anybody in the UK will agree with us. It's been a fantastic summer. From about sort of back end of May, really, hasn't it? All the way through. I mean, even today is. Well, it's warm.
It has been, but when you've got a 6-month-old, you're not allowed to leave the house with them because they can't go in the sun. It's like it's getting getting to 30 in our house, and I was like, I can't go up and paint.
Even with my kids, a bit older than yours, and I can't keep them outside all day.
So it's been a little bit tricky to get that box done. We've obviously got the Blood Angels and the Orcs to do, which. We're going to do a roll in a second to basically decide what is going to happen with your box, whether there's anything that needs to happen painting-wise or converting-wise or anything like that. That's on the list that should be on the screen there. Because I was going to cough. So that should be on the screen there, and we'll basically just go from there with that one, explain what we kind of want to do, because I've got quite a good idea. I don't know if you've got an idea, obviously that could change a little bit, and we are hoping that we can get this one done within the month. We're kind of going to set ourselves a bit of a stricter timeline on it, because I think we were a little bit lax as well with it, and then there is a brief update with it that we are going to give a pause after this next month. We'd already bought the boxes, haven't we? Yeah,
we decided whether to do them or not, but I think because we've already bought them, sort of committed halfway.